Last time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror Never-Ending Nightmares, we have... Wait, hold on a second. Is this an actual movie? I mean, look at it. This is like some sort of student film, right? No, it's a real movie. They actually had a DVD release and everything, man. Seriously. Really? This? I mean, look at it. It looks like it was made on like someone's home video camera. I mean, God, it's just ridiculous and awful. Yeah, well, they all can't be winners, so let's just get on with it, okay? Alright, okay. Last time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror Never-Ending Nightmares. A movie, I guess. And even though it has tits, it's still pretty horrible. Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror Never-Ending Nightmares. Coming off episode 12, which was one of the worst movies I've seen in quite a while. Cheerleader Massacre. Oh man, not even nudity could save that movie. Anyways, tonight, episode 13, unlucky 13 for me because it is now 11:20 at night and I have to wake up at 8 in the morning tomorrow. So I have no time. I just got back from work, was able to put on some more comfortable clothes, and I still have to eat my dinner. My God, I'm going to be dead tomorrow. Anyways, so I have to do something really short. I don't have enough time to watch a movie and do a review. So I'm going to talk to you about something that has been bothering me, and it's about the new Resident Evil reboot, remake, remaster, what they're going to do. And first of all, let's just say Resident Evil was the, probably the second game that I ever got for my PlayStation. The first one, of course, Final Fantasy VII. This is the reason I bought the dang thing. But Resident Evil, I rented it, I loved it, I got the director's cut thinking that it was going to be uncensored, but of course it was censored, as we all know. But I loved the game. It had a demo for Resident Evil 2, played the hell out of it, but by the time I did that, played the demo Resident Evil 2, one thing really bothered me, and it was the controls. The controls were just awful. I just couldn't really stand them anymore because they were so clunky, and also the camera. Sometimes the camera would be like, it was a fixed camera, and I know they did it for a more cinematic horror type look, and it was effective for that, but gameplay wise it was horrid because there would be some times where you would walk into a hallway and the camera would change, and then the direction you were walking was now the opposite direction you're looking, and now you're walking back, and it was really hard. Sometimes you'd go into a room and there would be a couple doors, and you'd try to figure out which door you came in from, which door you wanted to go in, and then you'd accidentally come into the door that you once were in, and you're back to where you were. It was just kind of a mess, and especially when you had to do backtracking in that game. We wanted to move quickly because backtracking was kind of boring. It was hard because of those cameras. So the controls and the cameras were so bad that I decided not to pick up Resident Evil 2 and ignore all the Resident Evil games. Even though I loved Resident Evil 1 and I liked the demo, just I couldn't stand the controls anymore. But when Resident Evil 4 came out, it fixed both problems with Resident Evil, and that was the controls and the camera. I mean, you could do more with the controls in Resident Evil 4. The camera was behind your back so that way you don't end up having to walk blind into like a zombie like you would do in the original Resident Evil. I mean, it was just frustrating, and I'm sorry, when I die in a game, I want to die because it was my fault, my skills were laggy, not because your controls were garbage. And that's unfortunately a lot of times in Resident Evil 1 I would die because I'm busy trying to turn my character and pull up the gun and then aim down, and it wasn't quick at all. And so when I heard that they were going to remake Resident Evil for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. I don't know if they're going to do it for the next gens. I don't know. But when I heard that they were going to remake it, I thought, yes, finally, someone's going to remake the Resident Evil games, but give it the good camera and controls of Resident Evil 4, because that's what I wanted. That's what I really wanted. When Resident Evil 4 came out, I thought, my God, if these controls were in the other games, it would just be awesome. However, I have just recently watched some gameplay trailers, and it looks like it's the old controls. The old controls, the old camera angles, and I am so disappointed because of that. Because it just kills it. I mean, there's a reason why I didn't get the GameCube remake of Resident Evil, because it didn't have the Resident Evil 4 controls. It was the same clunky tank controls, bad camera angles. I don't want to have to put myself through that. I don't want to have to suffer through poor controls just to play a game. And I'm sure it's fun and it's great, and I know the GameCube added like the red head blood zombies or whatever, and the graphics are updated, but honestly, I'm very disappointed. Unless it's going to be, unless this is the best kept secret that they're going to have Resident Evil 4 controls, and that it's just an option that you can play the game with the original controls, or you can play it a la Resident Evil 4 controls. If that's the case, then whoa, I stand corrected, and it would be the greatest, man. It would be the greatest. However, there is no indication that I've seen that that's going to happen, and so it's real disappointing. It was actually a game that I thought I was going to pick up, but now I'm very disappointed, which sucks, because there's just so much potential there, and I know that it would take extra work, but really, if you're going to redo, reboot, remake a game, then, from the ground up, you can do it. And honestly, a lot of people, are mad at Capcom because of how they handled Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 5. Even though the gameplay in those games were pretty good, they just wanted something more traditional Resident Evil. And they could have had it, but still had great gameplay. But now, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work faster. I don't know. I'm going to have to see it more in depth. I'm going to have to listen to more people about it. But I'm just really disappointed in that, and it's just a sad day. But it's not because I didn't like Resident Evil, because I love that game. It's just the controls. I don't want to have to put up with bad controls. Honestly, I mean, at this point in time, with the technology that we have, no gamer should have to put up with poor controls, piss poor controls, bad camera angles that detract from the actual gameplay. Sure, it looks good, it looks great, it's got that horror movie feel, but if it screws you up, if it detracts from the actual gameplay, which is the point of the video game, then honestly, I can't get it. I can't endorse it. I can't give it a thumbs up or anything like that. So I mean, hopefully, I'm proven wrong, and they did do that, because it would be a great thing. It would be probably the best thing to happen with the Resident Evil franchise in the last couple of years. I mean, look, they did it with. What was that? I can't even remember the latest one that comes out. But I've gone probably about 10 minutes with this, 5 to 10 minutes. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Sorry about not having a review. I'm gonna do better. This is just the late night shift, and the boomerang to the earlier shift is a really dick move by my employer, but sometimes it happens. We gotta earn them. We gotta earn our paychecks, and so sometimes that happens. I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm the one doing the videos, so it's like normally if I wasn't doing videos, it wouldn't be as bad. But right now, it's affected the content, and I'm sorry that this is sort of like a throwaway video in a way. But I had something important to say, and I said it, and anyone who really likes Resident Evil series, loved Resident Evil 4's camera and controls, probably might agree with me on this one, because I just the controls were just awful. Like, Resident Evil 4 was a revolution, and just give us Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica with Resident Evil 4 controls and camera, please. If you could do that, I would buy them. I'm sure many people would too. But anyways, that's my piece. That's all I got to say. And tune in tomorrow, where I will actually do a movie review. I will finish up the whole cheerleader thing with Satan's Cheerleaders. Hopefully it'll be a lot better than Cheerleader Massacre. But until then, you guys stay scary, internet, and once again, sorry that I had to do it like this, but there's not even going to be any clips or anything because, well, hey, I don't have a trailer for the gameplay anyways, and I'm sure, like, someone would get all pissed off if I showed it or whatever, I don't know. Anyways, so you guys, stay scary, leave some comments, tell me about what, so far, tell me what you're thinking so far, since we're coming up to the halfway point. Tell me how you like the 31 nights so far. So anyways, do that, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Good nights. Rah!